Do you actually show your cat you love them every day? You probably think you do, and honestly, most cat owners would say yes without even blinking. They feed their cat, they buy them toys, they let them sleep wherever they want, including on their face at 3 in the morning. But here's what nobody tells you. Most of the things we do, thinking we're being amazing owners, mean absolutely nothing to our cats. In fact, some of the stuff you do daily might actually be making your cat like you less. And the worst part? You're doing it with a smile on your face, thinking you're completely nailing it. These 7 things take less than a minute each, but once you start doing them consistently, your cat won't just tolerate your existence. They'll actually choose you, voluntarily, without being bribed with food. Let's start with the one that's going to make you feel slightly embarrassed about your entire life. 1. Talk to your cat like they just did something incredibly impressive. You know that voice. The one you would never, under any circumstances, use in a work meeting or in front of someone you're trying to impress. The high-pitched, slightly unhinged, borderline baby talk voice that crawls out of you the second you spot your cat sitting across the room. You've probably tried to tone it down at some point. Maybe someone laughed at you for it. Maybe you felt silly. Stop that immediately, because science is on your side. A 2022 study from the University of Paris found something that should make every cat owner feel deeply vindicated. Cats can actually tell the difference between their owner's voice and a complete stranger's voice. But here's the catch. They can only tell when the owner uses that soft, exaggerated, high-pitched tone. When owners spoke to their cats using their normal adult voice, the same voice they'd use to order coffee or talk to a coworker, the cats reacted like someone had just read them a terms and conditions agreement. Complete and total indifference. But the moment the owner switched to that ridiculous, sweet, slightly embarrassing tone, the cats perked up. They turned their heads, they moved closer. Some of them made direct eye contact, which, if you know cats, is actually a big deal. What this tells us is fascinating. Your cat is not ignoring you because they're rude or indifferent or just built differently. They're ignoring you because to them, your normal voice sounds exactly like background noise. It blends into everything else happening in the environment. But that soft, expressive, emotionally loaded voice, that cuts through. That's the one they've learned to associate with you specifically, with safety, with food, with warmth, with the person who matters most in their world, even if they'd never admit it. So, talk to your cat every single day. Narrate things. Tell them about your morning. Explain the plot of the show you're watching. Complain about your day. It doesn't matter what the words are because your cat has no idea what words mean anyway. What matters entirely is the tone. Soft, warm, a little unhinged. That voice communicates something to your cat that no amount of expensive food or luxury cat furniture ever could. It says you are safe with me. And in the life of an animal that spends most of its time calculating threats, that message is everything. And if you think that's something, hold on until number 7, because there's one specific spot on your cat's body that unlocks something even deeper than your voice ever could, and most owners have no idea it exists. 2. This 3-second look costs nothing and changes everything. Have you ever been sitting quietly and caught your cat staring at you from across the room, completely still, like they're running some kind of internal assessment, and then they slowly close their eyes, not all the way, just a long, deliberate, almost dramatic slow blink, and then they open them again and go back to whatever they were doing? Most people think their cat is just tired or zoning out or having some kind of weird cat moment. They are not tired. That slow blink is one of the most intentional and communicative things a cat can do, and it is directed specifically at you. Researchers at the University of Sussex ran a proper scientific study on this in 2020, and what they found was remarkable. When owners deliberately slow blinked at their cats, the cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back. They were also more likely to approach the owner afterward compared to when the owner kept a neutral, expressionless face. And when the researchers themselves, complete strangers to the cats, used the slow blink, the cats responded positively to them too, though the effect was noticeably stronger with the owner. Think about what that actually means. No treat was offered, no toy was produced, no belly rub was given. Just 3 seconds of soft eye contact followed by one slow, deliberate blink, and the cat's entire perception of that person shifted in a measurable way. In cat language, that blink translates roughly to, "I am not a threat. I am comfortable around you. I think you're all right."
And coming from a cat, all right is basically a standing ovation. Here's what makes this so important as a daily habit. Most of us stare at our cats constantly without realizing that in cat communication, prolonged direct eye contact with no blinking is not neutral. It reads as a challenge. It's what cats do when they're sizing each other up before a conflict. So every single time you lock eyes with your cat and hold that gaze without softening it, there's a chance you're accidentally communicating something confrontational without meaning to. All you have to do is slow blink. Let your eyelids drop gently, hold for just a beat, and open again. Do it every morning. Do it every evening. Do it every time your cat happens to glance your way. When they blink back, and eventually they will, that's your cat saying, "I trust you." And in the emotional vocabulary of a cat, those 3 words are worth more than anything money could buy them. 3. Most owners accidentally bore their cats into resenting them. Have you ever pulled out a cat toy with genuine enthusiasm, fully committed to having a great bonding moment, waved it in front of your cat, and watched them stare at it with the energy of someone who has seen everything and felt nothing? That's not your cat being lazy or difficult or ungrateful. That's your cat being completely and thoroughly bored. And it is happening in millions of homes every single day between owners who genuinely love their cats and have absolutely no idea what they're doing wrong. Here's the piece of information that changes everything. Cats are not just playful animals, they're hunters. Their entire brain, their nervous system, their muscle structure, their eyesight, all of it was built around one specific sequence of behaviors: locate prey, stalk it, chase it, pounce on it, catch it. That full sequence, from the first moment of spotting something moving to the final catch, is not just entertainment for a cat. It's a biological need. It's the thing their brain was literally designed to do. And when that need goes unmet day after day, cats don't just get bored. They get frustrated, restless, and sometimes start behaving in ways that seem destructive or antisocial, but are actually just the result of a hunting brain with nowhere to direct its energy. The problem with how most people play with their cats is they skip the entire sequence. They jump straight to waving the toy around and expect the cat to be excited. But there's no stalk, there's no chase, there's no moment of tension before the catch. It's just a thing moving back and forth, and after the 3rd time your cat has seen you do exactly that in exactly the same way, their brain simply stops registering it as interesting. The fix is to play like prey. Drag the toy away from your cat, not toward them, because real prey runs away. Let it disappear behind a cushion or around a corner and stay hidden for a moment, because real prey hides. Make it move in short, unpredictable bursts with sudden stops, because real prey doesn't move in smooth, predictable arcs. When you see your cat drop their body low to the ground, when their pupils dilate and their tails start that slow side-to-side flick, when they go completely still before the pounce, that's when you know you've activated something real, something ancient, something their brain genuinely needed. A cat who gets a proper hunt every day is a different cat. They're calmer between play sessions because the restless energy has an outlet. They're more affectionate because their needs are being met. And here's the part that actually matters for your relationship. They associate that fulfillment with you. You become the source of one of their most fundamental instincts being satisfied. That's not a small thing. 5 to 10 minutes a day is genuinely all it takes, but those minutes have to mean something. Move the toy like you mean it. Your cat will look at you completely differently when you do. 4. Sit near your cat and do absolutely nothing. That's the whole tip. What if I told you that one of the most powerful things you could do for your relationship with your cat every single day requires 0 effort, 0 interaction, and 0 preparation of any kind? What if the whole thing was just sitting in the same room as your cat and existing? Most owners operate under the assumption that bonding is an active process. It involves touching and playing and feeding and making eye contact and doing things. So when they're sitting on the couch reading or watching something and their cat is on the other side of the room ignoring them, they feel like nothing meaningful is happening between them. They might even feel slightly rejected. But here's what's actually going on. Your cat is watching you. They're always watching you. And the fact that you're there, nearby, present, not demanding anything, not reaching for them, not making anything happen, is being registered and cataloged in a way that matters enormously. To understand why, you need to think about how cats relate to each other. In the wild and in multi-cat households, cats don't form bonds through physical affection the way dogs or humans do. They form bonds through proximity, through the decision to be near another creature without needing anything from them. Two cats who trust each other completely don't constantly groom each other or play together every hour. They sleep in the same patch of sunlight. They sit near each other at the window. They exist in the same space in a state of complete mutual comfort. And that shared space, that undemanding closeness, is the foundation of their bond. When you sit near your cat without making anything happen, you're speaking that exact language. You're saying through your body and your behavior that you are safe to be near, that your presence doesn't require a response, that they can relax completely around you without expecting to be grabbed or startled or redirected. For an animal whose entire evolutionary history is built around threat assessment, that message is genuinely profound. Do this consistently and something will start to shift. It won't happen overnight.
5. Never touch your cat before doing this one thing first. Quick question. When you walk into a room and your cat is there, what do? Be completely honest with yourself. Do you just reach down and start petting them? Do you scoop them up mid-stride? Do you ruffle the fur on their head as you walk past? If any of those sound familiar, you've been skipping a step your entire time as a cat owner, and your cat has been patiently, silently waiting for you to figure it out. Cats don't experience the world the way we do. We lead with our eyes. We see something, we process it visually, and we react. Cats lead with their nose. Scent is their primary language. It's how they identify other animals, how they map their environment, how they communicate, and how they determine whether something or someone is safe to engage with. Every single interaction a cat has begins with the nose, not the eyes and not the ears. When two cats who are bonded greet each other, they don't immediately start grooming or playing. The very first thing they do is touch noses. That brief moment of scent exchange is the equivalent of a handshake and an ID check happening simultaneously. It says, I know your smell, you know mine, we're good, we can proceed. It's brief, it's quiet, and it is absolutely non-negotiable in cat social protocol. Now think about what happens in your house every day. You walk in, you spot your cat, and you go straight for the physical contact. From your cat's perspective, someone whose scent they recognize but haven't freshly confirmed is coming at them with their hands before they've had a chance to run the check. It's not painful, it's not traumatic, but it is slightly jarring every time. And over months and years of this, many cats learn to brace slightly when a hand approaches rather than leaning into it. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Before you pet your cat, extend one finger toward them. Hold it a few inches from their nose and just wait. Don't push it toward them, don't wiggle it, just hold it there and let them come to you. Let them sniff. Let them confirm who you are and decide they're happy to interact. When they push their nose into your finger, or better yet, rub the side of their face against your hand, that's consent. That's your cat actively choosing to engage with you rather than just tolerating what's happening to them. It takes 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds change the entire dynamic of every physical interaction you have with your cat from that point forward. 6. The one daily habit most owners get completely backwards. Here's a scenario. Your cat is asleep. They're curled into a perfect, compact shape that looks like it should not be physically possible. They look so soft and so peaceful that something in your brain simply overrides all rational thought and you pick them up. You know you're going to do it before you even decide to. You've already done it. Here's why that moment, sweet as it feels to you, is doing real damage to your relationship over time. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. That number sounds extreme until you understand what sleep actually does for them. Cats are not sleeping because they're lazy or because they have nothing better to do. Sleep is how their nervous system resets. It's how their body processes stress hormones, consolidates the day's sensory information, and recovers from physical activity. Deep sleep in particular, the kind where your cat is completely limp and utterly still, is when all of that critical maintenance is happening. And it's also when your cat is at their most vulnerable. Their guard is entirely down, their muscles are relaxed, their senses are dampened. They chose that specific spot because something in their environment told them it was safe enough to fully let go.
When you interrupt that by picking them up without warning, their nervous system doesn't gently wake them, it spikes. Heart rate jumps, muscles engage, claws extend. It doesn't matter that they recognize your face 2 seconds later and settle down. Something was recorded in that moment. The message that got logged was that this location, this comfortable, safe spot, is not actually predictable. And cats need predictability the way they need food and water. Over time, if this happens repeatedly, you'll start noticing that your cat sleeps in places you can't easily reach, up high, tucked away, behind things. People interpret this as your cat becoming antisocial or not liking them. What's actually happening is that your cat is protecting the thing they need most from the one unpredictable element in their life. The daily habit here requires no action whatsoever. When your cat is asleep, walk past them. That's it. That single act of restraint communicates more respect and more safety than any amount of cuddle time could. 7. One spot on their body changes the entire relationship. This is the one I've been building towards since the beginning of this video, because everything else we've talked about, the voice, the slow blink, the play, the shared space, the nose touch, the restraint around sleep, all of it matters, but this one ties everything together, and once you understand it, the way you interact with your cat physically will never be the same. When cats who are deeply bonded groom each other, a behavior researchers call allo-grooming, they're not random about it. They're not just licking wherever's convenient. They focus with remarkable consistency on one specific area of the body, the base of the skull, the space between and just behind the ears, continuing down the back of the neck. And the reason this spot carries so much weight comes down to something very simple. It's the one spot a cat can never groom themselves. No matter how flexible a cat is, and they are impressively flexible, they cannot reach behind their own ears and down their own neck the way another cat can. Which means the only time a cat ever receives care in that area is when someone else provides it. And the only cats who groom each other there are cats who are completely and unconditionally bonded. This means that spot is not just physically pleasant for a cat to have touched, it is neurologically and emotionally associated with the deepest level of trust and connection that exists in their world. When another cat grooms that area, both cats experience a release of oxytocin, not just the one being groomed, both of them. The same bonding hormone that helps human mothers connect with newborns, that gets released between people who hug or hold hands. It creates a felt sense of belonging, a chemical signal that says, "We are each other's." And here's the part that most cat owners go their entire lives without discovering. You can trigger that exact response. Every day, just for a few seconds, use your fingertips to gently stroke that spot between your cat's ears and down the back of their neck. Not scratching, not rubbing firmly, soft, slow, rhythmic strokes that match roughly the tempo and pressure of another cat's tongue. Then pay attention to what happens in your cat's body. Their eyes will begin to close, their muscles will release, their posture will shift from alert to completely at rest, and their purr, if they start purring, will change quality. It will get slower, deeper, and more resonant than the one you hear during a normal petting session. That change means something specific. It means their brain is doing something different than it does during regular physical contact. It means you've crossed from owner into something closer to family. And in the life of an animal that does not hand that word out easily, that is the greatest thing you could possibly be. Start with just one of these today. Pick the easiest one, which is honestly just talking to your cat in that ridiculous voice you've been holding back, and do it every day this week. You'll be surprised how quickly your cat starts responding differently. And if you want more of this, subscribe. We go deep on cat behavior every single week.